Hey kids, you're listening to a couple of annoyed grunt boys, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast.
They call me Mellow Yellow, quite rightly. This fellow never bellows, quite rightly.
That's right, we are the official Annoyed Grunt Boys Simpsons podcast that only covers seasons 11 and beyond, and not the Golden Age 1 through 10. Why? Well, plenty of other podcasts have discussed the Golden Age, and we thought we would be different and review the episodes that most people skip. And I say we because I'm just one annoyed grunt boy named Craig. With me, as always, is the other annoyed grunt boy,
Steve. Hello, Craig.
Hello, Steve. I don't know if you saw these ads lately for, and again, this is not a paid advertisement. I'm just bringing up a Simpsons content because we are Simpsons content. But I saw that like the Monopoly app, you know, the board game Monopoly, has like a Simpsons theme to it now.
Yeah, I think much like we had last year with the Fortnite, now the Simpsons are going to Monopoly Land.
So I was a little curious. There was like a whole 3-minute ad you can watch on YouTube, and there's just like commercials for it. And it's weird because it's like their animation mixed with the Simpsons. So like it still looks like the Simpsons, but their bodies are like Mr. Monopoly sized, and it's a little weird and disproportionate to like normal Simpsons. Anyways, I had to download the Monopoly app game, and I did.
Oh, wow.
And I'll just give my little review. So it's obviously, you can play it for free, but there's obviously you can, pay for more dice or tokens or whatever to keep playing if you run out. And I haven't yet because I'm not addicted to it, but it's pretty simple. So the board starts off with just your Monopoly board, but you go around and it's really mind numbing, and there's no strategy or any value to it. It's just a collect hit button. You don't even have to roll the dice. You could hit the automatic roll and just keep rolling and rolling until you collect money or, stickers or some shit like that. But it only takes a couple times to get to the Simpsons board, and then it goes and does other boards. So what I mean by boards is you have a little town and you have to build your houses and buildings, and there's multiple levels, and then people come and destroy them and got to repair them, all that kind of stuff. And then once you finally get to the Simpsons, you get to build the little Springfield town, and then you get to go into the Simpsons house and build Bart and Lisa's room and Maggie's and Homer's and the living room. But then after that, it's just other towns that you have to build. So there's your Simpsons content, except for there's still the board is Simpsons theme. When you still have Marge, and in the free parking, Marge is there, and you land on that, and you do a little mini game there. And if you go to jail, it's Wiggum taking you to jail. Mm-hmm. And the places on the board are still all Springfield centric. So instead of Boardwalk is the biggest one, or no, Park Place, right?
Right. Park
Place is actually Burns' Manor. But yeah, so that's my review. It's not, you're not really playing the game like you do. You just hit a button and you have dice, and that's about it.
It sounds a little like you're just, maybe if you still have that tapped out itch, it might fulfill that. But other than that, I don't really see the point.
I don't think it will feel your tapped out itch, just because at least in tapped out, you're doing something. At least there's some sort of creativity because you're designing a town. This one, you're literally just hitting a button to roll dice and watch your token go over the board and hope to collect things like images, like Simpsons stickers, and then upgrading your tokens. And of course, when you run out of dice, it'll be oh, hey, just spend $1.99 and get 50 more dice, that sort of thing. So there's no reward in this game, is what I'm saying. So if you're a Simpsons fan, check it out. It only take you a couple, maybe a day to get to the other board, unless you're playing the whole day. I don't recommend doing that, but yeah, it's just a waste of time. That's my review. It's a waste of time.
I like a board game. I like a classic board game. Scrabble is one of my favorite games. I don't like Monopoly as a board game. And I feel in the 80s and 90s, there was a lot of rebranding of Monopoly, putting a popular IP on the box and having those things. So a Simpsons Monopoly, or I think we had I know that in our household we had a Portland Cityopoly, and, there's probably like a Law and Orderopoly or a West Wingopoly or the Wireopoly, which seems novel the first time you play it, and that's about it. And so I don't think I will be downloading Monopoly Go, because taking one of the more boring board games and making it even more boring and promoting capitalism, as Monopoly does now, despite its origins as an anti-capitalist message, it doesn't really hold a lot of sway with me. But if it's your thing, I say go do it.
And if you're a Simpsons fan, I guess, I don't know. There's not really Simpsons content with it, except for like images. But like Monopoly, though, with other branded Monopoly, they have made it to like different strategies. I actually liked Monopoly as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But like I've told you this before, that there's like a Lord of the Rings Monopoly that we have, but like the one ring goes around the board too, so there's like different rules, and then once like the ring hits like Mount Doom, the game's over. So like there's not an actual like how like real Monopoly can go on forever and ever and ever until everyone's bankrupt. This one, at least there's a little bit of strategy, and then a game does end within like a time frame like an hour, which is nice.
That's reasonable. Yeah, that's good.
But, I think Monopoly would be one of those like games that I will teach my daughter to play, because it is about how capitalism is wrong.
Yeah.
But you remember as a kid, like once you like were bankrupt and like everything sucked, and we landed on like someone's property that had hotels, and like this just sucks. Yeah, that's life, buddy.
Yeah, I just remember like, and maybe this is just reflecting poorly on me, but like I remember whenever I'd play it, I'd just buy up whatever I could, and I wouldn't think about it as like, I just need to spend the money that I have. And then I wouldn't have any money, and then I'd be sad. And then I was like, oh, that's just life. And so I guess Monopoly is a good message.
You either like it or you don't. But you know what we like, Steve?
What's that?
Is The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what we really love is the date, April 28th, 2002.
Great date. One of my favorite dates.
Because that's when this episode we are reviewing aired. And we like to go back in time. Choo, 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 choo. That was my DeLorean sound effect of going to that year and checking out the pop culture, film, and music. You know what we never do, though? I'm just not thinking of this. We never talk about like the number one TV show of that week.
Yes, let's give us a countdown. So at number 5, we have Everybody Loves Raymond. Number 4, we have Will and Grace, or as some call it, Will and Grace. At number 3, ER. Number 2, Friends. And your number 1 show for the week of April 28th, 2002, it is CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, viewed by 22.4 million viewers.
Wow, that's like Super Bowl but numbers now.
It really is.
The Simpsons usually are on like the top 10, though, aren't they, for in that time period?
They are, and usually they get the Sunday night spot, or at least like the top 3.
Right. All right. Well, that's the first time we looked at the TV shows. Okay, Steve, how about the box office? What was everyone seeing that weekend?
Oh, it's everybody's favorite sequel to their favorite series. That's right, it's The Scorpion King.
This movie gets made fun of a lot because of the CGI of The Rock and the Scorpion King. Like, if you look at it now, you'd be like, oh, this is silly and buffoonery animation, you know? I would be ashamed to watch it now.
Yes.
Steve, what's the number 1 hot song of that week?
Why, that was Foolish by Ashanti. You know, you almost had her name correctly pronounced. Like, you had it one end and then the other end, but you kind of went somewhere in between.
Oh, yeah, the in-between place where James devours planets.
Yes. Galactus's real name is Jimmy.
And that brings us to our hot rock alternative song, Steve.
That's right. That's The Middle by Jimmy Eat World. And, you know, I have a continuing, on a pad of paper, I like to write down songs that I've heard. Not that I like or dislike, just songs that I've heard. And I just keep on writing it and writing it and writing it. And that's my own personal journal of songs. Maybe to buy or to keep. To
buy or keep?
Yeah.
To be or not to be keep. What was the hot country song, Steve?
My List by Toby Keith. I like these songs on my list, but I don't really have anybody to share my list with because it's not a thing that most people do. It's just when they hear a song, they write it down. So I kind of feel kind of alone in the world that I don't have anybody to give this and enjoy it with, like somebody to, I don't know, share it with.
Yeah, you want to share this tune for the alone.
Exactly, yes.
What tune would that be?
That would be Song for the Lonely by Cher.
If you believe in songs for the lonely. Is that how that went?
Exactly how that went, yes. She was on a boat and dressed like a sexy lady. It all worked out.
And did
she slapped Nicolas Cage?
And did 11-year-old Steve really enjoy watching that video?
Yep.
6 o'clock in the morning before he went to school.
All those seamen everywhere. It was great. Because she was on an aircraft carrier.
Right. We're not going to talk anymore about seamen or hogs on this podcast because we're not children, Steve. We're adults. We're grown men, for Christ's sakes, and talk about grown men things like hairy testicles. That's what grown men talk about.
You voice Mr. Burns?
Yeah, you just recently passed R.I.P. Hairy Testicles.
No.
He was the original Mr. Burns, and then Harry.
Right.
Harry Shearer. Steve, let's just talk about The Simpsons. I want to get into it because we have a Swartzwelder of an episode. Woo! It's called I Am Furious Yellow. Bart is inspired by one of the school's motivational speakers to become a cartoonist, in which he creates a popular comic and later internet series titled Angry Dad, which is based on Homer's anger problems. Homer becomes the town's laughingstock and plans to give up anger completely.
Ooh.
All right, Steve, let's go ahead and take a break and watch it and come back and discuss.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. And we're back. Today we're talking about I Am Furious, parentheses, Yellow, and parentheses. It's the 18th episode of the 13th season. It's episode 287 in the show's run. The original air date, April 28th, 2002. Your nerd code is LABF14. Written by John Swartzwelder. Directed by Chuck Sheetz. And the showrunner, Al Jean.
Swartzwelder, what can we say that we haven't said already? He is an icon and just truly a fascinating person. He's written 59 episodes of The Simpsons. Most recently, we talked about the War of the Simpsons on our Patreon from Season 2. That was a great kind of sleeper episode that doesn't get a lot of discussion, but that was really good. In the post-season 11 and beyond realm, we've reviewed most of his episodes, including Take My Wife's Sleaze, The Mansion Family, Kill the Alligator and Run, which we enjoyed, A Tale of Two Springfields, Hungry Hungry Homer, Simpsons Safari, Sweetest of Pooh, The Frying Game, and the Regina Monologues. We still have yet to talk about the Computer War Menace Shoes, Hunka Hunka Burns in Love, The Lastest Gun in the West, Mr. Spritz Goes to Washington, and Treehouse of Horror 14.
And he still holds the record, I believe, of most episodes of The Simpsons penned.
Yes, and also let's not talk about another Patreon that we did, Pistol Pete, which was his pilot for a comedy western, which was so good.
Steve, don't tell people what we thought of it. They have to sign up.
I just meant our episode was so good. But, I mean, they would know that because they listen and they know how good we are at podcast.
Or they know how much of a shill we are for Swartzwelder.
Yes. Read his books, too.
We like him as an author. We like his politics. It's all Swartzwelder in this household.
That's right. I just wish I had... I wish I was as social as he was, because... yeah.
In Swartzwelder we trust, and we say it all the time, if there's the Mount Rushmore, he is the George Washington of the Simpsons writers.
Indeed. 100%.
All right, well, let's just get into this. I'm very excited to watch this episode, because it's been a while. I mean, I feel like I like to hold my Swartzwelder episodes in a prestige viewing. You know, it's like I have to sit down with my Swartzwelder glasses and Swartzwelder popcorn bucket and my Swartzwelder underwear and so on and so forth.
Of course.
But Steve, we have a couch gag, And it's the Simpsons sitting on a couch as normal. That's fine.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, a crane game clamps down on them and picks up Homer. And Homer screams, "Ow, my brain." And he's pulled out of the frame. Steve, I know you have history with a claw machine that you told me off pod a while back. And I'm like, I didn't know this, or I forgot about it. So I thought it'd be a fun little story for you to tell the listeners.
Yes. So my father had a series of interesting jobs, from construction worker to car salesman to clown. And one of those jobs was a claw machine repair person and stock person. And so basically he'd go on a route, filling up the grocery store crane machines with stuffed animals and the like. And then he'd also repair them. And he also got my brother a job doing the same. So yeah, so if you see a claw machine, or if you did in the early 2000s, I think, there's a good chance that my dad repaired that.
I didn't realize it was when I knew you did that.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. I misspoke. It might have been the early 90s, but I think there might have been some overlap. Yeah.
Was there any tricks he told you? Like, listen, this is how you really do it?
I think you just kind of go for the top layer, look for things with big ears. If they have a plastic head, sometimes like there'd be like dolls or whatever that would have like a rubber or plastic head. That's easy to go for.
I heard you're supposed to like jiggle the joystick back and forth, so the claws like kind of swing, and then you release it, and then it kind of like swoops down and then it can pick up. Yeah. Did he ever bring you home stuffed animals?
Oh yeah. I remember there was a line of stuffed animals that like, there were creatures that take the shape of letters, like, you know, the alphabet. And I think I had most of the alphabet. And that was kind of cool.
Even X?
Including X, yes, but no U.
So you couldn't spell fuck.
Exactly. But I could spell thick. And fack.
There's a claw machine at my local grocery store that has Jaws plushies in it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a Quint one. And I'm like, I need this, but why? Like, I don't need this, but I'm just glad this exists. Because, like, imagine, like, oh, you're with, like, your child. And, like, I want a stuffed animal. Sure, kid. And then all of a sudden, like, you pull out the Quint, Robert Shaw, Jaws stuff. You're like, oh, I don't, they start crying. Like, I don't want this. This is for you Gen X millennial adults that like collecting Jaws stuff.
Yeah, I'll put it right next to my Kramer versus Kramer plushie.
I like my Kramer versus the audience plushie. It's Michael Richards. And you pull a string and he says some racist things.
Yeah.
Let's just begin the episode, Steve.
Alrighty, and our episode begins, as it always does, in the auditorium of Springfield Elementary, where Principal Skinner welcomes the children to Career Day. But there's only one speaker, who proves to be pretty disappointing, as we'll learn in this clip.
Welcome to Career Day. Here to tell you about his job is Bart's friend's dad, Kirk Van Houten.
How many of you children have gone out to your car and found a flyer on the windshield?
Are you the guy that puts them there?
No, I'm his assistant. But one time he was sick and he let me do it. I totally screwed it up. And that's it.
I see. Well, we still have 56 minutes left. Any questions?
Do you know Mom's getting remarried?
What? But I think we should probably talk about that later, son.
No, you might as well talk about it now. That was one lousy career day.
If we can't get better speakers, we'll have to go back to teaching. And I can't stare at those lifeless fish eyes anymore.
As head of the Student Activities Committee, I have an idea.
I was wondering what she was doing here.
The speakers are poor because we're letting just anybody do it.
Just the opening of Bart's friend's dad. And then you bringing up, like, your dad fixing the claw machines, but then your brother was hired as assistant. It's like Kirk is your brother. With the flyers. I just also love how, like, Skinner is just a dick to him too. Mm-hmm. Like, nope, talk about the divorce or the remarrying of Luann.
Yeah. Like, you got to be pretty disrespectful to have Skinner dunk on you like that.
Yeah, it's like when the nerdy kid makes fun of you in school, then you know, like, something's wrong with you.
Yeah, I find your appearance comical. I also like that, we have Skinner and Krabappel in the office chatting, and Lisa's just standing there. And they're like, oh, I was wondering what she was doing there.
I was thinking that when I was watching as well. I'm like thinking, oh, there should be a joke coming of this. But maybe it's because I've, had seen this in the past. Mm-hmm. It's like, maybe that was in my memory, but yeah, it was a good line. I'm like, oh, yeah. What is she doing here? But the reason why she is there is Lisa points to groundskeeper Willie and his enemy, groundskeeper Seamus, as examples of less than stellar guest speakers. And Skinner agrees that it was hard to watch Seamus drink in a bathtub for an hour and a half. Again, bringing up what your dad did in the past.
Yep, it's true.
Your dad was, if anyone's ever read or seen the movie Big Fish, like your dad was that guy. So just literally it was him. So when we make fun of your dad or bring him up, he literally was that guy.
That's why we're doing Big Fish for the Patreon next week.
But just your live reaction at the end so you can cry.
Yeah.
No, I remember I took a solo vacation years ago obviously solo means by myself. And I remember I rented a room that had smoking in it. And this is when I would smoke. And I just remember one night, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to spend one night. And I ended up just drinking and smoking cigarettes in a bathtub because that's something I've never done or would ever do.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it was fun. I was just like Seamus there.
That does sound pleasant to do once.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I did it in the hotel. I'm not going to do that in my house, but just the fact, you know what? This is something I've never done and never will get to do again. And this is before smartphones. And so I'm just sitting there drinking and smoking. I probably was listening to music. I don't know. I probably had to bring a record player because this was the olden days when.
Yeah. A phonograph.
What did we do without smartphones?
I don't know. I don't know how we survived without them.
It was probably when I had, this is how long ago it was. It was just one of those Motorola Razor phones, I think. So you could still
Yeah, you could fit 100 songs on there.
Yeah. No, I had I think at the time I had an iPod, a Nano. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did I? No, I had the knockoff iPods that were Sans discs that were $30 but
right,
the store.
right.
And because I used to be a runner, so that was another reason why I'd have that. Yeah, that's great if you're a marathon runner and you smoke cigarettes. Helps you keep thin. Anyway,
exactly.
Back to the show, Steve. Lisa suggests that they utilize Springfield speaker's burrow. So Seymour sticks his head out the office window and fires Seamus.
So the Irish groundskeeper is angered, as the Irish tend to be, and blames Willie for his job loss. Seamus threatens to turn Willie's groin into pudding, and the Scotsman responds by telling Seamus that he speaks like a poet, but he punches like one too. The two men then engage in fisticuffs, punching each other like Rock'em Sock'em robots, until Willie knocks Seamus's block off.
Did you also get a rock and sock'em robot for Christmas while you were a child and didn't have to play with anyone with that?
Yeah, I had to punch myself.
At the city's speakers bureau, Skinner impressed the wall of presenters such as Walter Mondale, Marvin Hamlish, Mark Furman, R.I.P., and even former president of Procter & Gamble.
Ooh.
A representative then shows Seymour a limited time offer.
We have a special this month. Mr. Blackwell debates Mr. T.
Oh, please. I've seen nicer chains on a set of snow tires.
I pity the fool who derives self-esteem from mocking other people's clothes.
I hate myself.
Ooh, here's a wonderful speaker, Geoff Jenkins.
Who?
He created a cartoon called Danger Dog. It's popular with kids and adults.
Yes, fine. He'll do. Anything to end this unstructured conversation. And in a gutless act of political correctness, Pizza Day will now be known as Italian-American Sauce Bread Day.
Ah, now that's a sensitivity. Right, Giuseppe? Giuseppe is such a happy monkey.
And now today's guest speaker, the creator of Danger Dog, Geoff Jenkins.
Thanks, kids. Next month we'll be airing the Danger Dog Easter special. Would anyone like to see a sneak preview?
I think that lady, the speaker lady, that the speaker bureau, was kind of flirting with old skinny boy.
And I like how it wasn't the typical, like when Tress MacNeille does like the Lindsay Nagel voice for like every corporate lady.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this was Tress MacNeille's voice, right? It was probably, or was it?
I don't think it was. No, I think it was probably, might have been Maggie Roswell or...
No, I think it could be. I'm not sure. Maybe it is. Yeah. Well, we're not voice experts on this, but...
But I like that there's a little bit of cigarette to the voice.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I had a cigarette right now in the bathtub. But Skinner in this episode, too, is just like so dismissive and like not caring. I don't know. Like he's good in this scene, too. Like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the name of the guy, Danger Dog guy?
Geoff Jenkins.
Geoff Jenkins. Like, there's some like great old schoolish character background design on the character. Like one thing, like we don't see someone that looks like that on The Simpsons. He almost looks like it's supposed to be a celebrity, but I can't figure out which celebrity he looks like. But just the way he's with like the longer face, I like how it's a little different. But then there's like a character behind what's his name, Luigi, that looks like another version of that character.
Right, just with glasses and
yeah. And then I like this like off-brand Ralph that's also behind Giuseppe and the monkey.
There's another off-brand Martin, I think, in this scene towards the end, too. Like, maybe it's later on that we haven't got there yet, but there's, like, he's sitting with the bullies, and he's, like, got long sleeves, and he looks a little weird. It might not be in this clip, but it's in there. I saw him, but yeah. Also, this really dates the episode, because Mr. Blackwell wasn't a thing when this episode came out. But he was a fashion critic who would, appear in TV Guide, among other things. And Mr. T was also great. Is great.
Mr. Blackwell was like a reference to like the 80s, like TV shows would say, oh, hope Mr. Blackwell doesn't see what you're wearing tonight.
Yeah, and I think he might have even had a segment on like Entertainment Tonight where he would like have the highs and the lows of like the red carpet or whatever.
Who's the new era of ragging on fashion?
I mean, Joan Rivers did great, bless her heart.
Well, now you have to explain who Joan Rivers is.
I know. But like modern day, I'm sure there's like some celebrity blogger or TikTok person who...
Well, it used to be that one creep that had the website where he'd put like cum on their faces.
Oh, Perez Hilton.
Yeah. We canceled him because he's an actual creep, I think. I think like Lady Gaga had to get like a restraining order on him. I think now it's a faux pas to. I mean, usually like if like when it's like the Oscars or award seasons, like people like, there's still like the hit or miss dresses, but now you can't like be overcritical, I guess.
Yeah, and also I feel like no celebrity or anybody with any sort of fame would be willing to be that outspoken about another celebrity these days.
I think they should just all come naked. That's all. I come naked.
Yeah. And nobody else does either when you're naked. But yeah, I think that's a good idea.
All right. Next award show, Conan O'Brien hosting Oscars. Come out naked, Conan.
That's all we want is some O'Brien hammer. So in the preview to the Danger Dog special, we see the fire hydrant-shaped City Hall of Neuterville, where the mayor has called on the hero to save the day. Danger Dog is happy to help, but needs to be done in time for his hot date with Sarah Jessica Barker. It seems that Dee Dee's archenemy, Molly Ringworm, is threatening the city with her puke ray.
So the mayor himself is then hit with the puke ray, causing him to instantly vomit into his trash can. And Danger Dog quips that the mayor's barf is worse than his bite. And then in the crowd, Nelson comments, "Le mot juste," saying that the line was spot on. And back in Neuterville, the dog citizens are zapped with the puke ray, resulting in a mother puking into her stroller and then her baby puking in her face. So at the park, two dogs are kissing on a bench when they are hit with the laser, causing them to throw up in each other's mouth. Vomit humor is pretty funny to me. Like, I like vomit humor over like poop and pee humor.
I'm not going to rate, and we don't need to make this a long conversation, but I'm not going to rate like which is more disgusting. But yeah, puke humor is fine with me. Like, I am luckily not one of those people who can, like, some people hear people talk about vomit and then they themselves get sick. I'm not like that. And I think, like, the 90s and early 2000s, like, I'm thinking about, like, Wayne's World and the like, vomiting was such a comedy goldmine, like, blowing chunks, that it just kind of, like, taught me, like, oh, vomit is funny. Like, yeah.
Like, especially, like, in our day on SNL, when they had, like...
The cream corn hose.
Yes. And again, not to keep talking about our Patreon, but we watched an episode of The Office, and there's a scene where Michael is in the bathroom vomiting, and he's like, no, I'm not vomiting, I'm pooping. Because he didn't want people to know he was vomiting.
Puke is funny. So the children of Springfield Elementary are delighted by the crass cartoon, but Skinner is not amused. Geoff Jenkins notes that if you freeze the frame, you can see that the barf chunks are actually cut-up photos of the animators and their friends. Nice touch. Geoff then takes a few questions from the kids until Skinner cuts the presentation short.
What state does Danger Dog live in?
Michigan. Next.
Why does Danger Dog mean more to me than school or church?
Because those things suck.
I have a question, Mr. Jenkins. Could you tell us about all the hard work and buckling down that you put into every cartoon?
Are you kidding? This is the easiest job in the world. I spend most of my time eating candy and going to R-rated movies.
Well then, tell the children how hard you studied in school to get where you are today.
Studied? Kids, all I ever did was sit in class and doodle. Like this one. It's what your principal would look like as a woman.
Fire, children! Hurry outside! There's no time to let today's lecture sink in.
Why'd you do that?
I won't stand by while you're glamorizing sass. Now those youngsters will throw their lives away, drawing things that never were.
Is Jeff John Swartzwelder?
It's actually Matt Groening. Matt Selman pitched, even though Swartzwelder wrote this episode, Matt Selman pitched this idea because he would hear Matt Groening talk about how when he was in school, he was a lazy asshole who didn't study. He didn't say lazy asshole. I said that. I don't know why I put that in there. But like basically Selman was like, Groening would always talk about how he just doodled all day and he just kind of slept off in class, and someone thought that this would be a fun way to stick it to teachers all across the world by making an episode where this happens and it inspires Bart. So yeah, this is like kind of like a young Matt Groening. So it's kind of an interesting meta tribute to the show's creator. And also at the time, there was a lot of independent internet cartoons popping up, and they actually wanted to use like macromedia, like Flash macromedia, but they decided to go with what they did.
Yeah. How does, when he draws a picture of Skinner, how does it get projected onto the the overhead with just a piece of paper?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm going to say a wizard did it.
All right.
But also him saying that, like, he just eats candy and goes to R-rated movies is such a funny line, because it's like every 10-year-old boy's dream. Sometimes I see boobs, too.
Yeah, and like you said, like the Simpsons references, like the beginning with what state does Danger Dog live in, and just flat out like Michigan.
Oh, okay, yeah, and then half the hands go down.
Like I imagine Matt Groening gets that all the time, and he just says like, "Where do the Simpsons live?" And he'll like Oregon, or just like say any other state, like Montana.
He just thinks of a new state every time,
like inventing a state, like new Kenya.
Yep. New Jersey too.
Only the good parts.
Yes. Ultra Utah.
MAGA California.
I think that's called Montana.
I was say, I think it's actually just called Northern California.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So Skinner is worried that the children will throw their lives away drawing things that never were. And it seems that his fear may be valid. So back in class, the kids create their own completely original characters, Steve. Completely original.
Yes.
Such as Nelson's Danger Cat, Milhouse's Trouble Dog, and Ralph's Ralph, which then he just takes his, what I assume is a pen, and makes scribbling on his face the pen noises. It's very fun. And then Bart has the most unique concept. It's Danger Dude, who happens to be a dog.
That's right. So Bart's comic depicts Danger Dude getting into a scuffle with an evil rat. After winning the fight, Danger Dude poses victoriously with one foot on his defeated foe. A damsel no longer in distress asks Danger Dude for a kiss, but the hero responds, "No way!" Bart may be his own toughest critic, but he finds his own work to be genius.
So thinking that his work could be worth millions, Bart shows the strip to Comic Book Guy at the Android Dungeons and Baseball Card Shop. Comic Book Guy finds Danger Dude to be lame and derivative, but someone else is in the shop, wants to share their opinion.
I'll be the judge of that.
Oh, Stan Lee!
Creator of Marvel Comics?
Greetings, true believers.
Oh, my heart is pounding like Thor's hammer on Dr. Doom's titanium-infused faceplate.
Hey, aren't you the guy who was stalking Linda Carter?
The term is courting. The restraining order says no, no, but her eyes say yes, yes.
Let's see what you've got, son. My spidey sense is tingling.
It's that good?
Whoa, did I say spidey? I meant stinky. Nuff said.
What did I do wrong?
Oh, I don't know. Try everything.
Now hold on, comic book guy. This boy's still finding his voice.
So you're saying I should keep trying?
Absolutely. And if you fail, you can always open a comic book store.
Stan Lee insulted me. But in Bizarro World, that means he likes me.
Comic Book Guy, problematic. A little too playful with stalking Linda Carter.
Look, Steve, we all stalked Linda Carter at one point in our lives.
I stalked Linda Cardellini.
Now that's problematic, Steve. She has a family.
Okay, I'm sorry, and I didn't.
I'm assuming Linda Carter does as well. I love the ongoing bit of Stan Lee like hiding the DC comics by putting Marvel comics over it. It's such a good touch. I know that like Stan Lee didn't do that himself. It was animated, but like,
yeah,
it's just a funny bit. And the Spidey sense. No, I meant stinky sense.
Yeah, this is the first appearance of Stan Lee on The Simpsons, but he'd go on to appear several more times. But yeah, I love how game he is. And yeah, just seeing him, the stinky line is really funny to me.
Yeah.
And this was before Marvel was huge, because like we hadn't had all of the Iron Man and the Avengers. Like we had Spider-Man and he showed up in Mallrats, and that was about it.
X-Men. I think 2002 we're looking at. So the first X-Men came out in 2000, and then Spider-Man, I think, came out in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so probably like right before this episode, or after this episode aired. It was 2002, right? Because I know there was that controversial Spider-Man trailer that was between the Twin Towers, and then once 9/11 happened, they had to get rid of that trailer and make a new one.
So I'll tell you specifically, Spider-Man came out 2 weeks before this episode aired. So it was still... yeah, or at least it was number one in the box office 2 weeks before this episode aired.
What's your favorite Stan Lee cameo in a Marvel movie, Steve?
Oh, boy.
As someone who's seen all the Marvel movies, right?
Yeah. I was going to say, before you said movie, his cameo in Spider-Man, the Insomniac game was really good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he was wasn't he just like a bodega owner, or?
I think so, yeah.
I think his cameo, if you're talking about like heartfelt cameo, it has to be Into the Spider-Verse when Miles has the Spider-Man costume and he's like, I forget the line, but it was like something like the suit.
Yeah, that
doesn't, don't worry if the suit doesn't fit you yet, it always will, or like something like that.
Yeah, that was really powerful.
The suit finds I forget what it was. I gotta watch that movie again. It's been a while. But the answer is Captain Marvel, because he's reading the Mallrats script on a bus.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. Bart goes back to the drawing board, thinking that he's just one great idea from achieving greatness. And he looks around the living room and sees a bat hanging upside down. And then, realizing that Batman is already a thing, he looks to the other corner of the wall and he finds a Green Lantern. Just so good. Marge suggests that Bart could rip off Little Dot, saying that no one would know. But Bart's artistic integrity prevents him from plagiarizing the comic about that girl who really loved dots.
I mean, it's like my favorite scene, just because of the Green Lantern reference, but it's just But I like how Marge is like just plagiarizing. Like that's the whole reason why he's doing this, because he was plagiarizing the dog.
Danger. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just takes one classic character to make an iconic cartoon, and Bart finds his muse as he looks out of the living room window to see Homer struggling to unfold a lawn chair. As Homer gets his tongue stuck in the chair, Bart begins drawing what he witnesses, and then comes up with the perfect title, Angry Dad. Homer offers even more inspiration as he accidentally sets himself on fire while trying to show that lawn chair that he's the boss. So as he screams in agony, Homer hopes that no one is drawing him. Just another... Because, the usual thing like that would be like, hope no one's taking a photo of this or filming me, but like drawing me.
Yeah. So as they drive down the road, Homer notices Bart drawing him once again and assumes it's because Bart believes him to be the greatest father in the world. But when a traffic jam causes a minor setback, Homer loses his temper and declares that the world sucks. Bart continues to document his daddy as his anger grows with a radio ad taunting him about carpet stores charging extra for that damned underpadding.
Later, comfortable on the couch, Homer is all set to watch an episode of When Dinosaurs Get Drunk, which we're announced here on the Patreon. We will do the entire series When Dinosaurs Get Drunk.
Yay!
In fact, we're going to stop this podcast and just only review When Dinosaurs Get Drunk. If only that was a show. So it features a Stegosaurus, or should I say Kegosaurus?
No, you should say Stegosaurus.
Stumbling into a tar pit, Homer can certainly relate to that drunken dino, which makes him even more mad when he learns that the show has been canceled. To infuriate him further, the show has been replaced by The Boring World of Niels Bohr.
I like this because he has been in a tar pit when the episode was Stampy.
Classic stuff, Steve.
Homer screams and goes to change the channel, only to find that the remote control has been replaced with a melted ice cream sandwich. So as Santa's little helper licks the splattered ice cream off the screen, Homer rips apart the sofa searching for that lost remote control. Bart draws his father biting the couch and adds some stink lines around Homer's butt for good measure.
Angry Dad is a hit on the playground of Springfield Elementary with glowing reviews. Kearney says the comic rocks, then offers a slick air guitar solo, and Dolph notes that the main character saying, "Arr, I'm angry," which is the exact kind of thing one of his dads would say. So Jimbo thinks that Angry Dad is a timeless cartoon character, and Kearney thinks Martin would be honored to have Bart sign his cast. He then punches Martin in the arm to necessitate a cast, and to ruin his chances of swimming in the summer. And they just got that sweet pool, except for it gets destroyed, and he doesn't have any swim trunks, right?
Yeah. But he'll be the queen of summer.
That's right.
Bart's comic may be a hit with the bullies, but Lisa isn't so sure. All the same, Bart takes it back to the comic book shop for appraisal from one Jeff Albertson.
Bart, this is just Dad.
It's a composite character. Your dad, my dad, a little of Maggie's dad.
No, it's just Dad.
Maybe Angry Dad needs a sidekick. Know-it-all sister.
Can she have a pony? And the last line in the scene?
Your penciling is sub-ziggy, and the main character is off-model in every frame. However, I deem this rec-worthy.
Wow, I made it. My week-long dream has come true.
Hold it, son. Wouldn't you rather have an exciting action figure?
But only Batman fits in my Batmobile.
Are you nuts? The thing fits in there perfectly. Look, he's fitting right now.
Stan Lee came back.
Stan Lee never left, and I'm starting to think that his mind is no longer in mint condition.
You broke my Batmobile.
Broke or made it better?
The joke that comic book guy says at the end of his mind's not there, like kind of sad because of how Stan Lee died. Like his mind wasn't there and was taken advantage of by his handlers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But an iconic scene of him breaking Database's Batmobile.
Yeah, and the line, broke or made better, was definitely one that I used at the time.
It's also funny showing how, like, the age of the writers, of course, is the Adam West Batmobile, but it really should be, like, the Michael Keaton, or at least, like, Val Kilmer's or George Clooney's Batmobile.
Yeah, and it's also funny because at the time, the Thing was not a thing. Like, people didn't care about the Fantastic Four at all at the time. I mean, I know comic book fans, but like the mass public. So this is like kind of an obscure character. So
if you look in the background, when Stan Lee went in to put the X-Men comic over the Superman one, someone bought the X-Men comic book because I see the Superman one is still there.
Oh.
It was probably Stan himself.
Yeah, he's like, ooh, Wolverine, I'll buy that.
Or convincing a kid. Like, there should have been a whole episode of Stan Lee just telling kids to buy, like, just this whole scene with Database.
Mm-hmm. Because, like, if you like Batman, read Spider-Man. And if you like Catwoman, just wait for a Black Cat episode. Because they're the same character exactly.
And I like how, like, Bart only has, like, one copy of Angry Jack. So comic book guy just takes it and puts it on the rack.
Mm-hmm. So they'll sell it for like $1.50 or whatever, and then that's it.
Bart maybe gets 25 cents, maybe like 10 cents from that sale.
Yeah.
Or doesn't get a sale at all, yeah. And, well, no, he has made copies of it because everyone on the playground's been reading it, so never mind.
That's
I'll
true.
take that back. So the kids line up to get their copy of Angry Dad autograph, and Ralph is saddened when he reaches the front and can no longer stand in line. Bart is then greeted by a mysterious man with a soul patch, who claims to come from the internet? So the man interested in turning Angry Dad into an animated web series. Bart is excited to turn his comic into an internet cartoon, hanging in the hollowed halls of cyberspace right next to the Nabisco cookie website.
Ooh.
Martin then punches the hipster in the gut for cutting in line.
That's one website where I will allow cookies. Bart and Lisa arrive at the offices of BetterThanTV.com, which is not currently a website, where they find people hanging out, shooting hoops, playing air hockey and foosball, and using a Xerox machine to make photocopies of their ass. Bart could get used to this version of work. As they receive their tiny cups of children cappuccinos, Bart introduces Lisa as his manager/sister, who offers an awkward, "What up?"
Steve, when you were that age, you didn't drink children's cappuccinos. You drink adult cappuccinos.
Of course I did, because, yeah, that's just, they're tiny little cups, and there's not a lot of coffee in there, just mostly foam.
The internet rep Todd Lennox tells Bart that he cannot physically have babies, but he can give life to animated internet cartoons. Todd shows Bart and Lisa another creation he helped birth, Bin Laden in a blender. The jib-jab-like short shows the Al-Qaeda leader floating in the pitcher of a blender until a hand pulses him into a bloody mess. So Lisa has to admit that it delivers on the promises of the premise.
Yeah, this feels like very much of the time of like Flash websites that would have like 30-second cartoons or like quote-unquote games where it was just like bad sound effects and worse animation, like Bin Laden in a blender.
Well, they had to probably animate that pretty quick because 9/11 only happened, a few months prior to this episode air date. So very
true.
Timely at that point. Yeah, in 2002.
Yeah, maybe they had like Bill Gates in a blender before that, or Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, it's Monica Lewinsky and her dress.
Yeah, and it wasn't red that they turned into. It was. Bart won't earn a salary, but he will get company stock. Lisa asks exactly how they'll make money and what Better Than TV's business model is, but Todd responds by simply asking how many shares it'll take to shut Lisa up. Turns out the answer is $2 million. Todd shows them another popular show, Lou Rawls' Secret Agent, wherein the honey voice crooner sings about never finding the hidden microfilm on his person as the spiked walls close in on him. They then head to the recording booth, where they meet the new voice of Angry Dad, some Hollywood elite named Dan Castellaneta.
Bart, meet the voice of Angry Dad.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, I was thinking of something like...
I'm a big fat idiot.
Wow, I think we have our Angry Dad.
Woohoo! When do I get paid?
In 2012.
Oh!
Now we just add color. In 5 minutes, it'll be on the World Wide Web.
I can't wait that long.
To pass the time, help yourself to some more stock.
know that's funny. There's only one way my show can compete with this. Book that animal that always chomps on my groin.
Susan Anton?
No, the lemur.
I don't know who Susan Anton is, but that's a solid joke.
All right, off the top of my head, if I remember correctly, Susan Anton is an American actress and singer. Remember her debut film being Golden Girl? It earned her a Golden Globe nomination, leading to a contract with NBC for her variety show, presenting Susan Anton. Later, NBC signed her for the drama series Cliffhangers. And remember, she was married to Jeff Lester from 92?
Wait, was she in Cannonball Run 1 or 3?
Why, she was in Cannibal 2.
Oh, okay, that's Susan Anton.
Remember Spring Fever from 1982?
Yes, and Family Friends from another time.
The Girl Who Saved the World from 1979?
And Lena's Holiday from 1991.
See, you do remember.
Of course, who could forget Susan Anton?
And don't forget, Sylvester Stallone dated her from 1979 to 1980.
Spanning 2 decades.
Anyway, she's still with us at 75 years old.
Thanks for your work, Susan, and thanks for chomping on groins.
You're welcome.
Best Susan Anton impression I've ever heard, and I say that with all my heart.
I do like how they animated Dan, because he is a bald man. He's a bald king like you, Steve.
That's right.
They're like, we'll put a hat on you and some glasses so you look cool.
Yeah, he looks like, one of those cool Hollywood celebs.
Yeah. I think the joke of him just going straight to the Homer voice without trying other voices.
Yeah. And it's funny because Homer has done voice work before too, because he was Poochie.
Yeah. So at the Springfield nuclear power plant, Lenny, Carl, Smithers, and Burns sit around a desktop computer laughing as they watch Angry Dad sit down to read the paper. The daily headline says, "You suck, Angry Dad," causing his ear to grow as he shouts, "That's opinion, not news." The cartoon shows Angry Dad's eye popping like balloons just as Homer walks into the room where his coworkers are watching.
Homer finds Angry Dad to be hilarious, particularly enjoying his blue pants and white shirt. It then dawns on Homer that he is Angry Dad. Then he says that Homer has been world famous for the past hour, and Carl adds that the cartoon is the internet's #1 non-porno site, making it 10 trillionth overall. What kind of monster could possibly humiliate Homer in such a manner? Homer watches the end to find that he's been watching a Bart-toon presentation in association with I Carumba Entertainment.
Homer rages with anger, storming out of work and hitting the road. Despite being so mad, Homer does admit that the Bart-toon is pretty clever. He then returns to his anger, vowing to kill his son. While waiting at a red light, Homer is recognized by the citizens of Springfield, who want to see the internet buffoon snap and go on one of his trademark fits.
So they shake Homer's car as he begs them to stop, saying that the more they rock, the angrier he gets, which is exactly how I feel about Kiss. I don't like Kiss at all, but I just thought that was an opportunity for a joke. I just didn't know which band to put in.
How about Lee Greenwood?
Ooh, yes. The more he rocks, the angrier I get. That rockin' Lee Greenwood with his one song that we cannot escape because he's the only one who'll perform for the president. Not a political podcast. Homer tries to run away, but slams his hand in the car door, causing more laughter and ridicule from the people. After Homer escapes, Moe hops in the car pretending to be Angry Dad. The bartender drives the car into a wall and then explodes into flames because we're in the flame era, and I love it.
Meanwhile, Bart and Milhouse laugh as they watch Angry Dad at home. So this episode features the Mad Daddy at work, remarking how easy it is to work at a nuclear plant. He then pushes a big red button, causing a nuclear holocaust. Angry Dad is upset, and his rage is only made worse as his boss, voiced by Bart Simpson, or maybe it was not Bart, and it was actually Nancy Cartwright. You see, because they had Dan Castellaneta as Angry Dad. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bart fires him, and Homer runs in to share his opinion on Bart's work.
I'm monster!
Homer, what are you doing?
We're just rehearsing for Angry Dad, the motion picture.
How'd you like to be played by John Goodman?
Oh, that's so obvious! It should be Gary Oldman!
Dad, I'm no fan of Bart's cartoon, but you have a real problem with anger.
I'm just passionate. like all us Greeks.
No, you're angry. Look, you're punching the cat right now.
Oh, I am. Oh, my God, you're right. I'm a rageaholic. I just can't live without Rage-a-hol.
Congratulations, Dad. The first step is admitting it.
Is it also the last step?
No, the last step is quitting.
Very well. I'm not going to be angry, Dad, for one day longer. I'm giving up anger forever.
I'm enjoying that this episode is just, in a way, meta to the fans of The Simpsons. You know, when everyone always talks about, especially at this time, if they ever made a live-action Simpsons movie, oh, who'd be Homer? Well, of course it's John Goodman, because at the time, he was the only, like, big actor that would fit that role. And the fact that Homer's like, that's too obvious. And the joke being Gary Oldman, but based off of like how much Gary Oldman's like put on prosthetics and like looks different in like every single movie he's in. Gary Oldman is a great idea for Homer.
Gary Oldman is a great for any role ever, because anytime I see Gary Oldman in a role, I'm like, oh wait, that's Gary Oldman, because he's that good of an actor. So yeah, I think he could play Homer. I
think he might be my favorite Commissioner Gordon.
Ooh, yeah. I think that's great. And if you have Apple TV, watch Slow Horses. It's a great show. You get to see him fart a lot.
Another reason why he'd be great Homer.
Yeah. Yeah, he's also a drunk and he has holy socks. Yeah, he's basically Homer, but if he was in the MI5.
The scene with him punching Snowball, too, is that an animated GIF, like, of just, like, repeating?
It should be. And also that sound clip of him dropping him in the cat going, wow. It's just so funny.
And, like, the extra strangling of Bart animation is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Just a great scene.
This is fun.
Oh, sorry. Steve just said this is fun because he started masturbating. So we'll let Steve finish.
Thank you. I just got a little bit bored, but okay. I'm good now.
Steve only gets erections when he sees adults strangling children.
Or punching cats.
Yeah.
Marge thinks that Homer should actually give up fatty foods, but he's already committed to quitting anger. And later, Marge is busy making the bed, bouncing yet another quarter into the ceiling to show off the tautness of the Sheetz. She then hears some calming New Age music, causing her to ask, where the hell is that soothing music coming from?
Stepping into the bathroom, Marge finds Homer in the tub, trading in anger for candles, soft music, and horse tranquilizers, specifically Churchill Downers brand. Homer passes out in the bath, but Marge is there to grab him in his inebriated state. At least the positive side is he won't get COVID.
That's true, yeah. He's got the horse medicine to keep him safe. So feeling a new sense of calm, Homer takes a casual stroll, declaring that nothing could make him mad. And as he walks down the street, the paperboy announces himself and then throws the latest addition into Homer's gut. Next, a guy shouts milkman and then throws a glass bottle at Homer's head. And then a woman shouts piano lady and a piano lands on top of Homer's foot. Just a great ABC heightening. Just so good.
And also Looney Tunes cartoon-esque.
Yes, definitely.
Homer strains to repress his anger, resulting in a bulge popping out of his neck. From behind a nearby tree, Bart watches Homer, hoping his muse will live up to the name Angry Dad. Otherwise, Bart will have to do a clip show.
Ugh, another great Simpsons meta joke. So Homer happily greets Ned in Flanders speak, but he learns that Marge offered the Simpsons home for choir practice, causing 2 more bulges to emerge from Homer's neck as he tries to hold down that anger. Ned then offers a sneak peek while Bart learns the harsh truth about the internet and its many, many bubbles.
Here's a preview. God said to Noah, build yourself an arky. Animals came on by. Onesies and twosies. Elephants and kangaroosies.
This little trap is gonna make my dad angrier than he's ever been. In the meantime, I gotta tell those internet guys to hold tight. Can I come too? Good idea. You can speak nerd to them. I'm not a nerd, Bart. Nerds are smart. my God, what happened?
They went belly up like all the other internet companies.
Looks like the bubble burst. Bubbles can burst?
Yeah, but it's a golden age for the repo business. One that shall never end.
Bart, it's over. Ow!
What do you mean it's over?
We're bankrupt. The stock is at zero.
But I have 52 million shares. What's 52 million times zero? And don't tell me it's zero!
Did you do the math yet?
I'm still working it. Carry the 1, minus 2, add the dividend, common denominator, lesser than... It's 0, yeah.
You know I hate that joke, Steve. The carry the 2. How dare you? That was a joke joke. You just busted it out.
Would it be better if I said carry the 3?
Everything's funnier in 3, so yes.
Okay.
I love the line Bart says, because it reminds me of you, and this is what you say about Millhouse, is because Bart's like, tell all the nerds, and he's like, I'm not a nerd.
Yeah, because we think of the bespectacled, unpopular people as nerds, but nerds are smart, and they have, like, hobbies or knowledge outside of just something. But Millhouse is not that, because he's not database, he's not cosine, he's not email, he's not Lisa. He's just Bart's friend who is a loser who has glasses. And I would imagine that if you were a 10-year-old boy who had glasses and, wasn't particularly popular, people might assume that you're smart, but you're not. You just know a lot about The Simpsons and Cheers and, sitcoms and stuff. And coffee. One would assume if you're talking about a hypothetical person.
And you know how to play Rock'em Sock'em Robots and Battleship by yourself.
Exactly.
Todd tells Bart that it's not how much stock you have, but how much copper wiring you can steal from the walls. So Bart may not be able to retire at age 12, but at least now he doesn't need content to make material. This means there's no need to lure Homer into that trap that Bart built. Saying this, Bart remembers that the trap is all set up and runs home to warn Homer.
So Homer arrives home from work happily singing Donovan's Mellow Yellow. But when he gets to the front door of 742 Evergreen Terrace, he sees a sign saying that there are free donuts in the treehouse. So of course Homer runs to the backyard and climbs up a tree to find a pile of donuts sitting on a crate. He notes that they look suspicious, but delicious.
Homer heads towards the fried treats, but falls through a hole that was covered by a rug. His foot is wrapped around a rope that is connected to a pulley system, leaving Homer hanging upside down. He's sent through several cacti and then a bunch of dirty diapers hanging on strings. Through each obstacle, Homer grows more and more angry, and then another boil appears on his neck.
I like when Homer is approaching the cacti, he says, "Oh no, cacti!" Like, he doesn't say cactuses. Good stuff. Finally, Homer sees a sign that says, to get down, cut rope, with a pair of scissors tied to it. So Homer cuts himself down, but then lands in a kiddie pool full of green paint. And Homer growls in anger and rips off his shirt. Now covered in that paint, Homer transitioned to a Hulk that could be considered pretty, incredible?
Homer mad!
Thank God his pants stayed on.
Homer mad! Homer smash! Get revenge on world!
Look! It's the Incredible Hulk!
He can't be the Hulk. I'm the Hulk.
Oh, please. You couldn't even change into Bill Bixby.
Come on, damn it. Change. Forget it. I really did it once.
Yes. I just wished you had the power to leave my store.
Before this episode aired, they showed Homer as the Hulk in promotional footage, and the internet went crazy thinking that the Simpsons jumped the shark and that Homer actually became the Incredible Hulk. And then they actually saw the episode, they saw that it was very reasoned and very grounded as to how he became what he became. And so, I don't know, it's just funny how internet dorks ruin everything.
Except for us. We make
right,
things
we're the
better.
best. Yeah, we're adding to the world of art and discussion.
Did they know, what if they just oh no, this is a Treehouse of Horror episode. They'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
They actually, yeah, that's dumb. Of course it's going to be paint. I think a funnier thing would have been, no, I mean, it was still a funny scene, and then Stanley, of course, kills it. But, like, if for some reason, like, his pants were purple that day, because, like, the Hulk has purple pants.
I do like Bart's line about the pants staying on.
Yeah. It's always, how did his pants never come off?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we've talked about it before, but, like, when Hulk's out, when Bruce Banner or David Banner, depending if you're watching the TV and you're afraid of people with the name Bruce because they might be gay.
Right. So dumb.
But we think that the Hulk, when he turns into Hulk, his dick actually gets smaller than Bruce Banner's. That's why he's extra mad, because his dick is tiny.
Right.
Or maybe he doesn't even have a dick.
Hulk go inside of Hulk self.
Yeah, he's got a dork.
Yeah. Hulk got dork. Hulk no bone.
Wait, is this an episode of MCU Wieners?
I do think so. Welcome back to another episode of MCU Wieners. I'm your host, Steve the Schlong Dong.
And I'm Cocky Craig. You know, I hear the Hulk is in the new Spider-Man movie that's coming out like in a few weeks. I hope they address this in that movie.
Yeah, with graphic detail.
Yeah. Like, do you think Frank Castle's got a nice hammer, or is it small? What do you think?
I think he's got like a little Saturday Night Special, if you know what I mean.
I really don't. What does that mean?
It's a small gun.
Oh, okay. Oh, Saturday Night Special. Yeah, like a little 22 or something like that.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Peter Parker?
I think he's web swinging that dick.
Like, we know Wolverine is a short king because he's only like 5 feet.
He's got it showed.
Well, he's got like an average size penis, but then, hammer.
Uh-huh.
But it looks big because he's short.
Yeah.
But you're right, it's thick. It's thick.
Yeah, he's got like, it's stubby. It's like a tuna can. Thor has a hammer.
I think Thor is like average, but like it gets the job. Like, he's average. Like it's like a perfectly fine god penis. Because, you don't want it too big.
Mm-hmm. Human Torch, he's got venereal diseases because it burns when he pees.
Okay, question. Does Human Torch have a bigger penis than Captain America? And I'm talking about the Chris Evans Human Torch and Chris Evans Captain America.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to say yes. Mr. Fantastic, not so fantastic.
Yeah, let's talk Mr. Fantastic. That's the most obvious one because these stretch everywhere. So I think we can, put that off the market of who's got the hammer, because let's think about it though. Does he retain his normal size, or does he always keep it nice and lengthy and girthy? Does he show? Is he always has to be a shower and a grower?
I feel like because he probably stretches out so much, it's a little floppy. It might be big, but I don't think it does much.
Can he retract it though? Can he give himself an innie?
Maybe, yeah.
And can he, let's say he was, I'm assuming he was circumcised.
Mm-hmm.
Can he bring his foreskin back?
I think so. And that's, yeah. And of course, the Thing, also Jewish. So circumcised and rock hard.
This topic was brought up in the movie Mallrats, which we referenced earlier with Stan Lee.
That's right.
So I think we'll stick away from that one.
But you know who has the biggest one? It's got to be Hawkeye.
Because he's just working with a bow and arrow. He does not have to overcompensate.
He doesn't need, yeah.
And his wife calls him cockeye, probably. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for MCU Wieners. I've been Cocky Craig.
And I've been Schlong Steve Dong.
That was a good episode. What do you think?
I think it was really good, yeah.
All right, back to The Simpsons, Steve. So over at the Springfield General Hospital, Homer moans in pain as the nurse gives him a sponge bath to remove the green paint. Marge angrily reminds Bart that his prank resulted in $10 million in damages. He says he's sorry, but Dr. Hibbert questions what Bart is apologizing for. Possibly saving his dad's life?
So after the family replies with a confused, "What?" Dr. Hibbert explains that the boils on Homer's neck are pent-up rage. And if it hadn't been for Bart's shenanigans, Homer's system would have been overwhelmed with anger.
Marge wonders if this means she shouldn't punish Bart, and the doc replies that if anything, Bart should be the one doing the punishment. To show his gratitude for saving his life, Homer takes Bart fishing. As they sit in the boat, Bart continues to improve his father's health.
Who knew that anger was saving my life?
Say it, don't spray it.
You're trying to get me angry? Thank you.
You're not welcome.
I love you, boy.
You love a boy.
Stop it now!
If you love me so much, why don't you marry me? That's a good one.
And that's how the episode ends, Steve.
Wow, with Homer loving a boy.
I knew it. I think we need to just take a little break, come back, and wrap it up. What do you say?
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. And we're back. Let's wrap up this episode. I am Furious Yellow. We'll talk about all that we loved and enjoyed from this episode, maybe stuff that we didn't enjoy, and we'll give most valuable jokester, and we'll give it a review and find out what we're watching next week. But before all of that, we still like to scour this episode, like every episode of The Simpsons, to find things that could be products, and then we make that product, and then we put it in a box and wrap it and give it to our co-host. Because capitalism works, folks. It works.
It's the best.
So, Steve, I have a plethora of gifts for you.
Oh, boy.
It is the custom of this podcast to give more than one. Since we discussed the funnies of this episode, you, my friend, get this. It's a puke ray, so you can point it at things that you want to puke.
Oh, yes. Of course. I'd love a puke ray.
And the puke ray, get this, works on television screens. So if you're watching a live event and you point it at someone, it works.
I'm going to go watch the World Cup. Of puke.
I'm going to watch Dancing with the Stars.
Of puke.
Another gift, Steve, is the complete box set of When Dinosaurs Get Drunk on Blu-ray.
Ooh.
So you can watch all your Kegosauruses getting drunk.
Nice.
Next up on the gift list is a toy Batmobile. Sadly, the Batman is missing, so you can choose any of my Marvel toys to put in that Batmobile.
Spider-Man.
You can't have that one. I'm using it.
Ah, crap.
You can have...
Venom?
You can have my Cyclops.
Ah, fine. I'll take Cyclops.
And finally, you get a new job. I got you a job putting flyers on a car, but you're actually going to be Kirk's assistant. So you're the assistant.
Oh boy, assistant to the assistant.
Yes.
That's very nice, Craig. I appreciate those gifts, and I got you some things as well. You got me a DVD, and I got you got me a Blu-ray. I got you the complete DVD series of Danger Dog. It spans 6 episodes, and it runs 12 minutes, so you can enjoy that. You can binge it. But maybe not after you enjoy your second gift, which is a bottle of Churchill Downers brand horse tranquilizer. And then, of course, I got you a fresh piano from the piano lady.
Wait, what's coming out my head? Ow! Why did you throw it at me, lady?
Sorry!
It's okay. Steve, gifts are fun and all, but...
Yes, they are.
Is the humor in this episode? What made you laugh, cry, cum, defecate, throw up, any of those bodily fluids coming out of you in this episode? Do you have a most valuable jokester? And just give me your review, Steve.
Looking back at this episode, it's, I'm going to say a little, iconic. I like the cold open, with, Milhouse, Bart's friend's Milhouse's dad. Just Skinner throwing shade at Kirk. Always fun. I love Stan Lee being so game to be a bit of a wacko here. I like that the fact that the animation for not Danger Dog, but for Angry Dad was actually done by a child because they wanted it to look kid-like and crappy. But I think the humor in here is really funny. I really like Homer getting all angry. A lot of fun. I love the meta humor of The Simpsons, like Geoff Jenkins stating that the Danger Dog takes place in Michigan, full stop. Currently, we're so inundated with pop culture knowledge, and especially with comic books, but at the time, this was kind of a lesser thing, and independent comics were still kind of a novel idea. And so to bring this episode that is both commentary on where the Simpsons are at the time, but also internet culture and comic book culture, I think is really interesting and a lot of fun. And so this is definitely a watch. I mean, it's hard to compare it to other Swartzwelder episodes because he has, 59 episodes and they're all really good. But I think this one holds its own really well. It's a goofy episode in a good way. Marge, wanting to rip off Little Dot. Just a whole plethora of things. The Krusty joke. I didn't love the joke about the internet, it being the number one non-porno website on the internet, making it 10 trillionth overall. I think that's kind of a lazy joke, but whatever, it's fine. But aside from that, I think this is a solid episode, definitely a watch. And if I had to give it a ranking, Homer transitioned into the Incredible Hulk, and Bruce or David Banner also did a lot of transitions, but not just any Hulk. He has been 34 different incarnations of the Hulk, from your Savage Hulk to your Gray Hulk. So out of 1 to 34, I'm going to give this episode a Spider Hulk. What do you think, Craig?
You're right on your assessment of this episode. I think originally when this aired, I probably didn't understand the meta-ness of it at the time, and maybe I felt a little jumping the shark, but it isn't. When we say that this is the parody origin of Matt Groening, and that this episode is just, in a way, commenting on the internet culture and the Simpsons in general, so it makes it for a fun time if you think about all those references. If I said MVJ, it might be Skinner just because of his attitude in this whole episode. But Stan Lee, hands down, just what they wrote for him was so well done. All of the scenes that Stan were in was my favorite. I mean, him breaking the Batmobile is top-notch scene. And I think also, too, what the point of this episode is Homer was becoming a jerk-ass, and they were really capitalizing on knowing that. And Swartzwelder, I think delivered in his writing, look, if we're going to make fun of The Simpsons, I will write this episode of us making fun of ourselves. It's filmed well. The animation is great. Like you said, with the child animation, it definitely is up there for Swartzwelder. It's interesting because we did on the Patreon watch a classic episode from season 2 that he wrote, The War of the Simpsons, and comparing this episode to that episode, it is apples and oranges. Mm-hmm. One is a very standard family sitcom trope of an episode, the War of the Simpsons, and then this one is just balls to the wall crazy. And it just shows you the range that Swartzwelder has. He went full goofy on this, and I think it's appreciated. And there's so many things in this episode that, to me, should be considered in the golden age. Let's step aside that our bit of seasons 1 through 10, mm-hmm. golden age, and then 11 beyond is new to us. I would just say anything that Swartzwelder belongs in the golden age.
100%, yeah.
So, that being said, every time Steve gets mad, I think of this episode. You have this silent anger about you, and I feel like when I watch this episode, you would get boils just like Homer. So
that is that I didn't mention that, but that always in the best way possible really bothered me when Homer the boils popped out of his neck. It just seems so trying to hold it down. So yeah, I feel for Homer in that moment.
Listeners, Steve likes to bottle his rage up, so he is the Incredible Hulk and Homer in this episode. And if you perchance to see Steve lash out and Hulk out, it's a scary sight. So I recommend making him pissed off. Another change the subject real quick, Steve. I'm just looking at this. I forgot to hit record on the last 4 podcast episodes. So we're going to do that all over again. And Trump just said he's canceling coffee in America, so we'll never have coffee again. And I just saw this on the news. Linda Carter, restraining order against Steve. That's you. And one more thing. Steve's wife says no to a third in the bedroom.
Steve mad. Steve smash. Steve no sit in cuck chair.
So speaking of ranking this episode, look. we see Wolverine in it, right? And the Hulk. The first appearance of Wolverine was Hulk 181, but technically it's 180. It's just like a little glimpse of Hulks, but they still consider 181 of the Incredible Hulk as the first appearance. It's minor details like that, but I'll give this episode a 181.
Nice. Yeah, that's fair.
Of course, we shill for Swartzwelder. That's just what we do on this podcast. We'll admit it. We think Swartzwelder actually is our secret father. He both banged our moms. And we're the result of him.
Yep. Thank you, Daddy Swartzy.
Because he loves baseball and I love baseball, right?
Yeah, and he loves conservative values and I love conservative values.
But Steve, I have a big surprise for you. Bigger than anything you'll find in your pants tonight.
Wow, a 2-inch surprise. I can't wait.
Because as of this record, there is a new Disney Plus special on Disney Plus, but we don't have the time to review it because it's being aired a day after our episode drops, so we don't have time. So it'll be next week. So you guys have at least a week to watch the new Disney Plus episode. It's called Extreme Makeover Homer Edition. And Steve, it's a whole fucking hour long.
Whoa.
Well, it's 2 episodes into one, so it's production number 806 and 807, or episode number. But we'll just, we're going to do them both. We're not going to watch one and then the other because it's a 2-part. We're like watching a movie next week for this episode. Yeah. The synopsis goes like this. Homer and Marge's fun couples date night goes off the rails when Marge learns Homer left the kids unsupervised with only the doorbell camera as a babysitter. Frustrated with her imperfect husband, a tipsy Marge stirs up a trilogy of fantasies of a different Homer. I am excited to watch this. It was written by Michael Price and Nick DeHaan, directed by Matthew Nastock and Timothy Bailey. So this was produced for season 37, so I guess we can consider it part of season 37.
Yeah, I think this is exciting to see. I'm excited to see new Simpsons. It's been a while, and I don't feel like we got slighted, but the season 37 was pretty short, so to add this on, it's good. We deserve this. It's owed to us.
It is. So, Steve, I'm excited to watch this next week with you. In the meantime, folks, go ahead and contact us on email at 13simpsons@gmail.com or on socials at 13simpsons, like on Instagram or YouTube.
And hey, we have a Patreon, and it's awesome. We do a new episode every week. We might talk about a classic episode of The Simpsons, like a Swartzwelder episode. We might talk about another sitcom. We might talk about a movie, or we might talk about whatever the hell we want on the Annoyed Grunt Boys show. Every week it's something different, something exciting, something great, and it's only $5 a month, so you get a bonus episode. So check it out. Go to patreon.com/AnnoyedGruntBoys and sign up today. You'll be glad you did.
And don't forget to go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to this podcast to leave a review. It really helps. Please leave a review, 5 stars or the equivalent, but you don't have to write a real review. You could just tell us how Stan Lee smashed your comic book store.
And hey, if you're so kind and you want to look like a cool person, go to tpublic.com/user/AnnoyedGruntBoys and get yourself some cool Annoyed Grunt Boy swag. We have a bunch of different designs, and it's a good time at the wardrobe.
All right, for this week, I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Craig.
And I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve.
And remember, I can't live without Rage-A-Hall.
I'll turn your groin into pudding.
I spend most of my time eating candy and going to R-rated movies.